Today I decided to do a little Q&A because I feel like I haven't done any chatty type of videos or Q&A in a while, and just haven't been making as many YouTube videos during this pandemic because, to be honest with you guys, all I've been doing is mostly walking around in one of 3 of my tie-dye pajama t-shirts and playing with my cats and watering my plants. So I haven't had much motivation, but I'm trying to get back into it, so I figured this would be a great way to do so. Also, I would love to hear your guys' suggestions for videos because I'm filming a bunch right now, and if you can just comment them down below. Let's just get right into it. I put a questionnaire on my Instagram and my Snapchat, so if you don't already follow me on Instagram or Snapchat, my Instagram is Chantel Jeffries and my Snapchat is Chantel Celine, or you can just type in a fairy emoji, you can find me there. What's your background? I am actually, my dad is Black and French from Louisiana, so he's like Creole descent. My mom is Irish and Italian, so no Hispanic, but I know I get that a lot. How tall are you? I'm 5'6", but it varies. I have scoliosis. I've talked about this a lot. When I go to the chiropractor regularly and do my stretches and go to my physical therapist, then I do notice that I'm a bit taller than when I don't. It just really depends if I'm keeping up with my fitness or not. How did you and Catherine meet? Me and Catherine actually met through a mutual friend in Miami about 7 or 8 years ago now. We instantly hit it off and became really good friends. We ended up later moving to LA together. So congratulations to Catherine on her new baby. So cute, little baby seal. What's your favorite place you have traveled to? I really like Tokyo. It's amazing. The culture is so unique and inspiring. It's somewhere where you go and you get very inspired by everything around you. I also like that it's a collective group outlook, so people are worried about the entire group rather than the individual. Very clean, no one litters, everybody walks on one side of the road. You feel much more safe about leaving your stuff, places and things like that. Everyone's kind of on the same page of looking out for the greater good, which is something that is a great way for your mind to kind of get into that mode. So I think it's important to spend time in places like that so that you can realize that everyone's interconnected, and as we've learned recently, everything that we do affects other people. So that's something that I just feel is a really cool mindset and something that everybody should experience. So I would probably say Tokyo. Are you seeing anybody spill tea? Honey, I'm ready to spill tea. I love tea. Yes, I am. I have been for about 6 months now, but yeah, so I'm in a happy relationship. Why do you say defund the police when you have security? I only have security sometimes based on an actual threat that's been posed to me, and knowing that the police have never helped in this situation. I have a really crazy story where I had a stalker that showed up at my house and was following me around, so I called the police multiple times and they did absolutely nothing. They told me they can't even do a restraining order unless the person has been threatening me in writing with violence. So, you know, as a woman, that doesn't feel very secure, and knowing that they literally won't do anything until it's too late, that's the only reason I would even have security in the first place, based on things like that happening, not just in everyday life. But I say defund the police because the budgets that the police have are just astronomical for reasons that don't make any sense to me. Anytime I've needed them to do something, it's never gotten done. I've had people show up at my house that were stalking me. I've had people break into my cars. I've had people literally key 7 cars outside of my house. I've had all sorts of things happen to me, harassment, countless things stolen from me, and nothing's ever come from me contacting the police and doing police reports, and I've had at least 10 incidents and absolutely 0 has been done. So I know that they are not trained in certain aspects of things, and when it comes to things like mental illness and domestic abuse, that's things that they only make worse and escalate in situations. So those funds can be redirected to community leaders or mental health people to help with the homeless or help with issues where people are violent based on their mental health or not knowing what's going on. When it comes to domestic abuse, police just escalate that situation, because when a domestic abuse dispute is called and the police come and they arrest someone, they usually don't go to jail, and then that abuser is able to then come back and hurt the abusee to even greater extent. So there's so many different areas where these funds can be reallocated that have a greater effect on the community. Moving on, what is your biggest biggest pet peeve about people? I would say my biggest pet peeve of just something I deal with on a day-to-day with people in my life. This is obviously not the most extreme one. This is just something I notice that I deal with often. Just hypocrisy, just people saying one thing and literally doing the opposite, or doing what they say they can't stand from other people and just not even realizing that it's happening. And I think that really comes from not taking time to self-reflect and realize that, you know, there's certain things that you do and then you can't be getting upset at other people for doing the same thing because it's just hypocritical. So it's just because humans are narcissistic by nature, we tend to do that, and it's something they have to be aware of and think of, and we all do it. There's some people that literally just chronically do it and it just drives me crazy, but there's bigger problems in the world than that. So what's your favorite TV show? Anybody that's new here or doesn't, it is Rick and Morty. I am literally the president of the Rick and Morty fan club. My stuffed Rick is over there, as well as my stuffed dog, my Mr. Meeseeks, and my Trevor Saves the Universe glasses. I have like a whole corner of stuffed animals. I just can't sleep with all of them. I sleep with this avocado. Indica or sativa. I'm a sativa girl. I've tried indica, but it just makes me so tired for literally days. Did you go to college, and what did you study? Yes, I went to college. I went to a few different colleges because I transferred around. I went to FIU, and I also went to New World School of the Arts for a year, which are both in Miami. I studied communication arts and fine arts. Can you make an OnlyFans? I literally said, I was like, should I make an OnlyFans for my cats? And then I'll donate however much of the money to animal shelters and stuff like that. And a lot of people wanted me to do it, so I'm still down to do it. I just haven't made one yet. I don't know, we'll see. I definitely want a place that I can be more personal with my fans and talk to them. And me and Alyssa were thinking about doing an advice series where we have you guys write in about something going on in your life and something you want advice on, and then we discuss it in the video. Since we're so different and we have very different points of views on things, we'll discuss it. If you guys want to do that, then let me know and we'll take in all of your stories and questions. Do you still DJ? Yes, I still DJ. I've done a couple live streams during quarantine. I've also just been DJing for my friends. My friend's birthday party was the other week and I DJed there, like just doing different stuff. I've been working on music. There's no like shows going on right now, but how did you lose so much weight? I wasn't trying to lose weight, just changed my diet because I was having like this autoimmune situation going on and we were trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And so I had to change my diet and I just cut out majority of sugar and carbs for a while to see if that helped with what was going on. And I ended up losing a bunch of weight and it just honestly just stayed off. I haven't been doing that as much now. I still am very cautious about sugar just because of all the negative effects it has on your health. But I've definitely been eating a lot of carbs recently, but I still try to stay away from sugar as much as possible. I honestly think that helped speed up my metabolism and I've been working out. Did you get a breast reduction? If so, into what size? I think my breast reduction size now is, it's a 32D, fluctuates, but that's pretty much the size. Before it was like 32 triple D, which sounds really crazy, but it's mostly just because my rib cage is really small. People, when they meet me, they're always like, oh my gosh, you're so small. I didn't realize that you were this small. It's not that I'm like, oh, I'm so skinny or anything. It's just actually I'm petite. Have you hit 1 million on TikTok yet? By the way, ILYSM. ILYSM too. Yes, I actually just hit 1 million on TikTok. That was one of my quarantine hobbies. And I really, really enjoy it. If you weren't a DJ, what would you be? I used to think I would be a dermatologist just because I am so into dermatology and skincare. I love everything about it. I love popping pimples. I love extractions. I love putting on all the products and like, I feel like it's chemistry in a way, which is so cool to me, and finding the right combination of all the things and learning what everything does. It's something that I'm into, also just satisfying. Have you been to Outer Banks? I actually grew up living right there in Outer Banks for a couple of years. My parents, like my dad had a house right on the beach, and my mom, we also lived inland like 30 minutes. So I spent a lot of time in Outer Banks. I used to visit Kitty Hawk and stuff a lot. My dad lived in Wilmington, so I also watched the show. I liked it. I didn't finish it, but what anime would you recommend? I mean, right now, Avatar: The Last Airbender has just been added to Netflix, so I was recently rewatching that. When I was younger, I was obsessed with that show. That was the first thing that kind of got me into anime. And then also like Naruto. a lot. First place you're going to go after the pandemic. Yeah, I'm going to Florida. I'm gonna visit my dad and go to a small wedding ceremony for a friend. So that's gonna be the first place I go. Favorite thing to do to de-stress? Honestly, smoke weed. But besides that, I actually really enjoy the Calm app. So I listen to like rain sounds on there. It's either that, or if I'm at my house and I want to de-stress, then I will light all my candles in my room. I'll sage my room. I put on my hue lights, so calming color, and I'll put on my essential oil diffuser. Like these little bedroom pop animated videos, and they have live streams where it has really cool animation that just is moving a little and it's someone in their room, and it has like a really cool lo-fi, just different type of music in the background. So I'll put that on. I'll get the vibes right in my room, and then I just try to relax. Did you move out of the girls' room? Well, I'm currently still here. This is my room at the girls' room. We are actually all moving out. Our lease is up. We extended it longer due to the pandemic, but now we are moving. Everyone's moving separately, but we've still been hanging out. Cindy actually already moved into her apartment. Jocelyn's moving next week. Lauren moved out a little bit ago, and then me and Sela are moving together, obviously, my sister. And yeah, why are you always in different houses? My boyfriend's house, where I was staying for most of quarantine, I would be there or here, or he has another house where his studio is and his gym. So like I would just be between those three houses. But I know it got confusing because I was just, obviously they're not the same house. You can tell by the finishings and stuff. I've just been back and forth between those three houses. How much did your fake tits cost? Reduction, lift, whole thing altogether is like 12,000. If you were to get a breast augmentation, the pricing is a lot cheaper, but when they actually have to like go in, remove tissue, do the whole lift situation thing, it's way more work, so it costs more money. Hardest part about being an influencer? Somebody who is influencing people, make certain decisions. I think it comes with a lot of responsibility, and you also have a lot of people giving their opinions on certain things that maybe you didn't ask about yourself, and it just kind of brings some things to light that maybe you don't want to talk about, or maybe you don't feel so good about. So you have to really be secure in yourself to not let those things get to you and affect your mood, because even if you don't realize it, it can be happening subconsciously, and it can have a big toll the way that you feel overall. And I mean, mental health to me is the most important thing. So just being able to find that balance and being able to take things with a grain of salt and still listen and still be open-minded without being defensive, I think that's the hardest part. And favorite ways to uplift yourself or your mood on bad days? I always try to force myself to exercise and make that the one thing that I will do. That's like a task when I'm in a bad mood. So I'll force myself to exercise because it will obviously release the good chemicals in the brain. So I'll do that, and then once I get home, I will lock myself in my room so that I don't offend anyone with my attitude. And then I do my whole like de-stress routine, and then I will just like relax and put on and then I really want to watch, and then I will just order my favorite food, and then I stuff my face. Have you ever been asked to self photos of your feet before asking for a friend? Yeah, I got like messages all the time. I didn't know about like foot fetish culture until like recently. Me and Cindy were like looking at Wikifeed and knowing all these things. I actually had no idea that people were into feet. I just didn't know. I had no clue. I felt like so blindsided. Like, wow, I've been existing this long and didn't know this. To just post all these pictures like my pedicure and my shoes. If you guys know I have like shoe cam, I'll post every day the shoes I'll wear. Everyone will be like saying things about like my toes and stuff, and I'm like, I just thought it was showing my shoes or like my nail polish. Like, I didn't know it was a thing, but whatever. Whatever floats your boat. What has been your biggest motivation when it comes to your career successes? My biggest motivation before, and this has changed so much now for me, has been literally insecurities and trying to fill those insecure parts of myself through my career. And now I don't feel insecure anymore, so I feel a lot less motivated, but I also am like, okay, it's just time to find a new place to pull inspiration from, and there's so many. I just am now transitioning from that, and I don't know, I've just been through a lot of experiences that make me secure with myself, and not feel the way that I used to feel all the time. And I just think, I don't know, there's a lot of different things that can drive you. For some people it's money, and like some people it's insecurity, some people it's wanting to be accepted, which comes with the insecurity, and some people they want to be famous. And for me, I just really like the community of the career that I'm in, and I really like the experience when I'm experiencing it. So I love to be the person to curate and help create that experience, whether it's like music or shows or videos or things like that. Because I enjoy those things, I want to then make something for other people to enjoy. And that's kind of been my motivation recently. So anyways, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment your suggestions down below of what videos you would like for me to make. Check out my new song, Come Back to Me, featuring Shaylin, which is out now, and you can find me on all social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you out.